I glad it happened? No. Right? When people say it's like, well, it made me who I am. Fuck that. Like if I could remove that, I would remove it for sure. The amount of damage that's done is unbelievable. And it's certainly contributed to the near suicide in retrospect, right? I thought I had 17 different problems, but when you look back, hindsight 2020, it's like, oh yeah, all that stuff makes sense. There's one like, it was like hardware, like genetics plus trauma. Like, is that?
Did you learn that through psychedelics?
That's part, I would say it's one of the tools that made it very clear, where I was able to see how these seemingly disconnected pieces of puzzle fit together perfectly. And psychedelics are fascinating for a lot of reasons. I've stepped outside of the public discussion of psychedelics largely in the last few years because I've just been disgusted by all the infighting and humans being humans. Like, like, humans just cannot resist soiling the nest, peeing in the pool, choose your metaphor. It's like all of the infighting and nonsense and politics and power grabbing that you see in any group of humans, you also see within the psychedelic ecosystem, right? So anyone who thinks you just need to put LSD in the water supply and we're gonna have world peace, like I'm like, you should go to a psychedelic go to a psychedelic conference and see all the assholery and fuckery afoot. And trust me, I can assure you that that will not work. And at the same time, I mean, some of the most beautiful, wonderful, inexplicable, and also painful experiences I've ever had have involved psychedelics. And you do need to be very, very careful with them. I really feel like, as one of my good friends who passed away due to cancer, but Roland Griffiths of Johns Hopkins, he said, in effect, like, you're using psychological nuclear power. It's like, it doesn't just bend one way, right? Like it's inducing a level of plasticity and suggestibility and malleability, but how you shape that Play-Doh once it's heated up matters a lot. So you can't just dose and run. It's like the experience does matter. Experience itself does matter, but the way I encourage people to think about it is, number one, like, treat it as if you were going in to have brain surgery. You're not going to find a shaman on Facebook for your brain surgery. So if your friend's like, bro, yeah, I got an awesome shaman who's coming in and like, come sit this weekend. And it's like 3 days till the weekend. Like, you would never do that if you were having your skull opened up. Don't do it, in my opinion, without a lot of prep and consideration.
So you have a very healthy respect.
I have a very healthy respect because, and this isn't scaremongering, it's just a fact of the matter, there's a lot of survivorship bias in the sense that you tend to, especially up until a few years ago, you hear about all the amazing transformations. The people who get their psyche shattered and who have some type of persistent perceptual disorder, they're not necessarily showcasing that. They're not sharing it. They might be ashamed. They might get criticized by friends who are proselytizers for psychedelics, who take their difficult experience as a risk to the quote unquote movement, right? There are a lot of forces at work and dynamics at play that make it challenging for people who have hard experiences to get the help they need. But as someone who, I had a podcast in 2015 about Ibogaine, and Ibogaine in Mexico specifically. And I've been around these things, certainly not as long as many. Like, there are facilitators who have tens of thousands of sessions under their belts over 40, 50 years.